Welcome, beautiful souls. Today I want to talk about soul purpose. What is your soul purpose? When will it come online, if ever? Or maybe you're already in it. And why is this something that comes up on this journey? So let's get into this one. So welcome, I'm Kathleen from Awakening Meraki. Soul purpose comes online when your soul knows you are ready. Now, for many people, you may already be in your purpose, and that purpose will look different for anybody. It could just be that it's art, for an example, or music that you want to bring into this universe. Could be poetry. It may not necessarily be a job in a physical sense where you're getting up every day and going to work, to a workplace. However, for some, it definitely will be. And for others, you'll be ejected out of your workplace and you'll find yourself on a very different path. All of this is part of this journey. I work with some beautiful people, where they've been in business a long time, and they've been in purpose, but it's been elevated. They want to extend it. Or it's that they're in a job, but they just know that this position is not resonating with them. And so they want to change role, and they've kind of got an idea on what they're looking for. So, there's anything that can go. Often people's creative side really comes online through this journey. I know people that had never drawn in their life, and all of a sudden they're just presenting like stunning art, like it's incredible. So many gifts come online. Many find themselves down the path of being a healer in terms of like an energy worker, or they're already there. Or it could be that your psychic gifts, you're going to start to really harness and work with those, and you feel very called to work in that space. So anything kind of goes. But the reason why this happens is because essentially we are here to get out of that hustle, get out of that control, that forcing, that striving, anything in your life that is coming from an energy of lack, scarcity, and limitation, and it's just not your calling, and you're in complete resistance, or you're in turmoil, or you're in a job and you're just like, I just can't do it anymore. You see, this journey is about shifting your life around. Life will never be the same once you've been awakened to this extreme, like we are on the twin flame journey. And it's a full-blown Kundalini awakening. This is not just for, it's not just a small awakening. This is it. It so profoundly shakes you to your core, and that means anything in your life that is not aligned will fall away. And for some, it will happen pretty quickly, like it did with me, and for others, it will be a little bit more progressive. It just really depends on your unique path. Anything goes, right? There's no set in stone, this is the way it's going to roll for you. It's different for everybody. But the key here is that you don't want to be in fear of diving into and leaning into your purpose. If it's coming online for you, and it will, like it can suddenly just happen really, really quickly. I've got a friend, and her and I are going to do some work together on dark feminine energy. So that's coming up soon. But her light language, it's like it just literally came on very, very rapidly, and it's deep. It's so impressive. It's pretty cool. And so for her, she knows that she's here to bring that and help activate and do transmissions on, whoever. So, it's incredible. And this particular person's actually been a master Reiki healer for a long time, well before her awakening. But this is really, this light language has come on fairly recently, but on this journey anyway. So I'll talk more about that on a different day. That's a little segue for something else that we're going to be working on. But, people will start coming into your life, and your soul will just orchestrate new opportunities for you. And your role here is to really step back and start using discernment. It's about taking, this journey makes you look at every aspect of your life. And if it's out of alignment, it's going to go, or it needs to elevate, or something needs to change. And you will know because it's repelling, but you've got this deep calling. Like for me, I knew as soon as I was on this journey that this is what I would be doing. and it all makes sense. My 3D now just all rolls in and makes sense, and it's incredible. And it's just so beautiful. I get to work with people around the world on their business, and I love it. It's so exciting just to see the expansion and the elevation, but what they're bringing to this world essentially. And it's a different way of doing business. It's the 3D way of doing business is going to change. We're going to be shifting out of just running a business to very soul-centered, heart-led businesses. Now, I'm not saying that people are not necessarily in that, but the majority of people are not. They are not living in alignment to their real truth, even if they might be in a business or in a particular role. But what you will find on this journey is you will be pushed into soul-centered or heart-centered led environments, whether that be your own business, whether it be, a new role or whatever, right? It could be working with children, it could be working in clinical, it just could be doing anything, right? I've got another beautiful client that I work with, and she has this phenomenal Instagram, and it's all about butterflies and flowers, and she's a master gardener, and it's just incredible. And that's her purpose, just getting lost in these beautiful fields of flowers, and she takes photos and videos, and it's incredible. So, there's so much that comes forward, and your soul will bring it to you. What I find typically that happens, this is the common kind of theme, is that the first part of this journey is that we have these big, heavy oscillations. We think it's all about the twin, this other body. We get to a place where we realize it's really not. And then once you start making energetic shifts, then that purpose starts to come more noticeable. You've got this pull towards something, or you feel like you've got to shift out of a job that you're in and change that whole dynamics. You'll feel it. This is why I say you must trust your intuition and your soul, which is why you need to cut out all the 3D noise, why we go into solitude, so all of this stuff can come online. What I also find is that people in their purpose, when you're coming into purpose, like the twin flame part is the last, right? It's about you fully aligning, you leading a soul-aligned lifestyle. It is incredibly different to how we have been operating in the past. I can tell you, my life is poles apart. I used to get out of bed at, 5:30 in the morning, and I would be, out the door pretty early in the morning, working, easily a 12-hour day, doing that 5 to 6 days a week, traveling, catching flights, doing this, doing that, whatever I was doing, writing board reports, in meetings, all sorts of stuff. But it was hustle, and it was just push, 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 push. And it was exhausting, and that there was just strong egos everywhere, and there was just BS floating around everywhere. I cannot anymore work like that, and I don't need to. And this is the difference between the hustle and that high masculine energy environment. When you've been awakened, you can't function in it anymore. You'll struggle, let's put it that way. My lifestyle today couldn't be the polar opposite. Talk about duality. I've experienced that, and now I'm here, and I have the most phenomenal lifestyle. I'm healthy, I'm well balanced, I'm very aligned, and I'm living in my purpose, and this is more important to me than anything else. My purpose is what's more important to me, and it always has been. But now I know how to bring it to life. Now I know really what my purpose is. Like, I've always kind of known, but this is elevated. It's completely different. And then what happens is your spiritual gifts will also come online, particularly when you're really balanced and you're in that real beautiful feminine polarity. Your spiritual gifts, because your masculine energy is so stable in you now, that these gifts are just incredibly strong. Now, do not panic, do not worry if you are not in this phase, but it is something I want to speak to, because it is a big component of this journey. This whole entire journey is about you coming into alignment with your true self, not all this stuff that you were playing out before that's not authentic, not your truth. and living in lack and scarcity and limitation. When you're in purpose, it's a really different beast that you're working with. You're working with energy. Everything is about energy, right? So clients, they need to energetically resonate with me. If they don't and it's not in alignment, then I'm quite happy to sort of like send them on their merry way, sending them lots of love, because they're not in alignment yet to work with me. And that's the difference, right? Because I'm not in lack and scarcity, I don't feel I need to hold on to things, because I want people to get the best when they're working with me. I want you to be fully ready for my frequency. And if they're not, I can pick up on it pretty quickly. And I mean, to be fair, I don't really send people away, but I have had the odd one or two where I've had to sort of have those conversations, because you do need to be ready. You need to be ready to take this on and start to work differently. You will be working from an abundance space, where limitless potential, where anything goes. So we've got to unpack, which is what I work with people on, unpack these limiting beliefs and start to run the soul-led business or job. I help people going for interviews, looking at it from an energetic perspective as opposed to a desperation, oh my God, I need this job. Let's look at the energy. Is this an energetic aligned business that I'm going to go into? And you will know. You'll feel it. And this is why it's so important to focus on the energy, learn about energy, learn that you're an energetic being, and start to feel your soul around you. Feel the soul moving. When your soul is joyful, you will feel it. When you are like listening to music and you're feeling really peaceful and joyful, you'll feel the energy moving around you. That's because your soul is now free. We've freed it up from these karmic cycles and these old patterns and these old limiting ways of living, to abundance, to limitless potential, to where you just know that soul's got this. It's this deep faith in the universe. And it's just incredible. It is a much more peaceful way of living. It's definitely more beautiful. My life flows just effortlessly. That hustle, that striving, burnout mode versus just centered, balanced, living a life in alignment, they could not be further apart from each other. So if you're ready to, feel into what this is, if you know it's coming online or you need some support, this is a place that I am helping lots of people in. I love it. This is really what this journey is all about, right? We think it's about the twin flame, but actually it's about you releasing all these old energetic patterns that have been holding you back in life. You see, this journey is about spiritual transformation. It's about your ascension. It's about you coming into wholeness, stepping into your fullness, and releasing all the layers that you are not, and letting your your soul shine through. And that's when things really start to shift. Getting out of these lack and limiting beliefs is really important. The way this universe works is it reflects back your inner being. So if your inner being is still in fear around money, for an example, then it's going to reflect more scarcity and lack. So we need to get people out of that, and it's about seeing those patterns and releasing them, and becoming the embodiment of someone that's a limitless being, that is abundant. And there's no obstacle, right? The only obstacle, actually, there is an obstacle. The only obstacle is your mind, and where you want to direct that mind. Do you want to direct your mind into being a limitless, abundant being and aligning with that? Or do you want to direct the mind to keep cycling in the victim, in the pit of scarcity and lack? Because your 3D will not change until you change on the inside energetically. It's an internal shift. Okay, the external shifts when the internal shift happens first. You stabilize that internal shift, and your 3D will start to shift. It's very beautiful and it's incredible, and this is the magic of this journey. So if you need some help and support in this way, that's what I'm here for. I love supporting people, and doesn't matter if you need help getting into a new job, or whether you want to work with me on your business. Either or goes. I'm pretty in flow. This has been my life, actually. The only difference is now I've merged my my spiritual part and my business life and merged them into the two, and it's phenomenal. It's so cool, and it's super exciting seeing people just go, I can do this. I can actually go and create my own business. And you definitely can. You don't need to like go all out and buy a website and do all that, spend all this money. You really don't. You can just show up. Really simple. This is the difference between a 3D business and say a 5D business. 5D is heart, soul led. It is done from an energetic space, and you literally just show up, and then you let it expand as you expand, right? A 3D business thinks it needs a big marketing plan and it needs this structure and this system and whatever else. Don't need any of that. Don't worry, people. You can just show up and start, and you will watch it expand. And I am testament to that. I literally bought a domain name, and now I work full-time in my business. I've got my own, I'm leased an office. You know, I'm working with other people around the world in terms of like got people working alongside me that we're collaborating together on. And I've done that in 18 months. 18 months. Okay, so if I can do it, anyone can do it. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to just start showing up. And it's really small. It doesn't need to be anything massive. Anyway, just wanted to share this today. You are here to elevate. You're here to come into alignment with soul. And yeah, that is the magic, and you deserve this. You deserve it, right? We work hard on this journey, you know, we go through a lot. So soul wants you to come into its magic and feel the fullness of the soul and what it can bring to the table. And let me tell you, it's unlimited. Anyway, sending so much love.